the Stochastic Fiction Game. This is a timed writing game where I'll give myself 90 minutes today to write a story based upon this stochastic fiction outline I'm about to create with this Python script. And I'll find the directory and try to type it out. This is new source to me, and I'm still adjusting. I will post instructions in the link someday and update them. What this does right now is output the stochastic fiction outline that you see right here. And with that stochastic fiction outline, I have a randomly generated set of story elements. These story elements for today's stochastic fiction game will help me create a story that I'll write, read at the end, and rate. The story elements for today's stochastic fiction game are setting time future, setting main location city, conflict person versus society, quantity of primary characters, mini, point of view third, tense present tense, genre romantasy, format flash fiction. Well, those are the story elements for today's stochastic fiction game. I need to make this a fantasy novel of some sort in the future. I don't know what that means in the fantasy romantasy world. If this was non-fiction future, I'd be thinking of flying cars. Because the genre is romantasies, I gotta think of something like flying dragons, or griffins, hippogriffs, maybe flying pegasuses. Interestingly enough, I just sold books at the Portland Book Festival. Successfully, nearly 30, which is the most I've sold within that time frame of time, which was 11 hours. It was packed, and it was packed because of one author, the author of Fourth Wing, and they brought the crowd, and it was great. And that book is Romantasy. Rebecca Yarlow, I believe, was the author's, and is the author's name. I've heard of the book before. Very interesting selling books to that crowd because they loved buying books and taking stickers of Word Prostitute. I bring this up because I'm supposed to now write some romantasy, and I haven't done it a lot. I have listened to book reviews on romantasy books. I've read articles on romantasy books, and I've heard people describe what makes a romantasy. So I understand the genre, just haven't really wrote a lot of it, and I don't think I will be as successful as the author of Fourth Wing. In fact, I know I won't. There was this time during Friday when you sell, you have a chance for Word Prostitute and all the other exhibitors, publishers. Friday night you sell it for 2 hours, customers get a drink, so they're a little bit more, of course, willing to buy. But my story here has nothing to do with the fact of purchasing. The story is that everyone must have got a raffle ticket, and they were raffling off to go see the author of Fourth Wing talk, which was an additional fee and been sold out, but also have some exclusive seating. And they did the raffle late, and they were announcing it, and it was packed. There was a lot of people, and the entire crowd, everyone stopped. Kind of like on the movie The Day the Earth Stood Still, looking at their tickets, hoping that they won the raffle. I just found that really fun and interesting to see that people were that into a book series and a writer. I think that's cool. But now I got to try to write romantasy. Oh, yeah, with flash fiction. I got an hour and 25 minutes to do it. Not that I don't understand the whole fantasy genre. I write it, I stream it, I create dioramas, so I get that part. How would I do it in the future too? Like that's a and many people, we're gonna get really kinky here and try to keep it G-rated or at least PG. I don't need to get into smut, not here, not right now. I haven't tagged it smut, so I can't within the community requirements. Maybe I'll have to do that every single time now. We'll see. Future. So we got future elves. So we talking like Warhammer, what is it, Warhammer 40,000? Setting main location, a city, okay, person versus society. Man, could get complicated. So let's just keep it with some sort of earthen fantasy. We'll say elves really exist. Man. I think I talked too long about something that was off subject, and I wasted about 3 minutes telling the story about my understanding of romantasy. I suppose it was good. Gives context to my inability to future elves. Future elves? Do we want dwarves? Do we want halflings, gnomes, tieflings? I think there's a lot of new creatures within the fantasy realm, which is great. I just need to think of the one that you're going to romance against. There's going to be many people in a flash fiction story, so it's going to be in a busy city. The main location is in the damn city. We got to have some dragons and elves. God, and I got to throw all that context in. Magic is real. Let's just start with that. I gotta have what's the romance? There's gotta be, if I have my understanding, there's gotta be some weird power dynamic. You end up almost in a submissive form. This is the primary protagonist, the one that's pursuing independence yet romance at the same time. And you usually have a strong antagonist, a strong secondary character who's the romance interest. But there is a conflict. Maybe it's like some Jane Austen novel where you have who's going to be the romance interest at the end. I'm trying to think. Pride and Prejudice. Prejudice. Can't say that word right now. Where you know who they're going to end up romantically at the end, but it's a different journey. In romantasy, I think there has to be magic. Yes. And potentially it's more piquing or interesting if you've got some sort of racial conflict. And when I say that, like between humans and elves, or elves and dwarves. So I gotta have two different. I gotta have a human, and I gotta have at least one other fantasy creature in this future. And the magic, maybe, there's magic and there's technology and there's romance. I like that. Oh man, if I read that there's magic. I should have it as someone's dialogue. There's technology, there's romance. There's magic, there's romance. There's magic, there's technology, there's romance. Says, I need another race. Man, this is going to be weird. Especially flash fiction. When most of these romantasy novels have lots of words to try to then write a story that's 800 words long. I need a race that a lot of people know. Ooh. Ooh. Could it be a minotaur? Like some big beast. Ooh. Ooh, yes. It's gonna be a minotaur. I don't know how to spell I mean, I should know how to spell minotaur. I've been a minotaur in a fantasy world playing Pathfinder rules, but it's just a different brand of something like Dungeons and Dragons. The minotaur's name was Light. Very good minotaur, trying to break away from the chaos of. I think the minotaurs in that world may have been on the seas. I'm not sure. It's a little bit different than the minotaur of the maze. So, there's those aspects. So let's have it be a minotaur. Maybe this is after the science and magic, says the minotaur. Minnow. I'm going to try to spell this, but then I'm going to look it up because I should know the tar. Tuar. Minotaur. All right, search and return engine. What do you tell me? Minotaur. Oh, A-U-R. Did I get that? Oh, I feel so special. I got the A and the U backwards. Hey, Okay, so we have the Minotaur. There's magic, there's technology. We'll make it a he flares. Nuts. He clenches. There's magic, there's technology, there's romance, says the Minotaur. He flares his nostrils. They made me. He clenches his fists. Like ready to punch. Oh, wait. Let's go. Let's start with the Minotaur, because I'm just going to throw that right out at the reader. The Minotaur clenches their fists like ready to punch. Their fists. There's magic, there's technology. The Minotaur he hits his fist against his chest. Is it? They made me. Romance made me. Oh, let's not go romance. Not romance. There's magic, there's technology, there's greed, not romance. I guess greed would make, right, like you want to make a slave, have a slave, because you don't want to pay them. You want a robot to do your bidding. You don't want to concern yourself with anything. It's the greediest thing you could do to a human. Greed. Taking everything they have, giving them nothing in return, yet earning a lot from it. And so in this world, the Minotaur would be the strong slave leader having a romance with a guard? No, that's a little, it's like, I mean, that'd be weird. Would that be romantasy? Probably. It wouldn't be outside the bounds of it. It'd be a little bit too rapey, though, and I don't necessarily find that romantic. Which is me, though. I'm sure there's a genre for it. I'm just not going to put that into my romantasy. He hits his fist against his chest. They made me. Let's describe this Minotaur. Go back. He lowers his massive bull head and horns, looking at it would be easier for me because I'm not good at romantasy. Did I even spell Minotaur? It goes A-U-R. God. Right? I don't know. Anyway, I'm not a fluent romantasy writer. And this is far from fiction. And maybe a little too far that I don't want to fictionalize a lot of things. So I'm going to venture down the heterosexual romantasy, not necessarily the bi, the homosexual, or how it'd be interesting to have like the asexual romantasy. Not today, but maybe that would be find use something that's unfamiliar to me and challenge myself. But for today, let's just go. This is going to be a heterosexual relationship, so the Minotaur is going to be talking down to a woman. But I must consider it. How much time do I have? How much do I need to fictionalize? And what genre am I writing in? How familiar am I with it? Not that familiar, so let's just continue with something that's closer to non-fiction than fiction, so I can write this fiction romantasy. And we have a Minotaur into it. And this Minotaur is going to lower the massive bull head and horns, looking at character. I don't know who. I don't know. He lowers his massive bull head and horns. Rebecca. I don't know how to spell Rebecca, but that's how Rebecca, with 1 B. Rebecca. Rebecca 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 with 1 B. 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 Looking at Rebecca's. What color? What can I like? Something. It's got to be sultry. I got to just think like massive bull head. Like that's not romantasy. Oh God. This doesn't work out. Dragons are way sexier than minotaurs. So are elves. Like yeah. I don't think this is gonna work out. Massive bull head right there. That's just not even. Maybe maybe. Maybe it's just the deep dark romantasy. Uh, he lowers his massive bull head and horns. Yeah, it's terrible. Like there's nothing endearing about a bull head. At least in my mind, I'm just not a. Yeah. What time do I got? I got an hour and 8 minutes left. Oh man, I should have given myself 2 hours today. A little bit arrogant. Then romantasy pops up in the future, and I want to be a minotaur. No, like wanting to be a half orc or something like that. It's just not. Well, I'd rather go. Let's just go down swinging. Let's make it. Let's just. I'm in here. He lowers his massive bull head and horns, looking at Rebecca's sultry tan skin. Sultry body curving. Like tropical waves. I don't know what this really means, but sun reflecting. Reflecting the heavenly glow. Let's give some backstory on Rebecca. Maybe there's some, like they were given, like the Beauty and the Beast story. Maybe that's just like the basis of romantasy, is Beauty and the Beast. But I think there's a lot more to it. But at least the few I've heard on book review, I don't know if I've heard necessarily any book review I've heard people talk about Fourth Wing when talking about romantasy as a genre. There's some other one I'm forgetting right now, a couple others, but I feel there needs to be some tension. This would be is already difficult. Like fist. His fist falls. Caresses. I don't know how to spell caress. Caresses. Too many R's. His fists open. His fist opens and caresses Rebecca's dark, I don't want to do raven because that's like someone, raven like hair, then it'd be a feathers. Dark hair like a raven. I'm not talking, I don't need someone to be the bringer of death or have some raven like qualities. I want Rebecca to be special. Rebecca's got to be there for a reason, and I have to define that reason right here in the second paragraph. And we got a little bit of attention at least. Just the fact that it's Minotaur. They made you to be with me. Yes. The tortured soul. The tortured soul of I gotta give this Minotaur a name. I think maybe I'll use the Minotaur that I once gamed with called Light. Barbarian? No, just straight up fighter class. Paizo, first edition. I think he made it to 6th level before Light died. Who Rebecca looked up at the Minotaur light. All right, so I need to hurry this along. I don't know what's the conflict. Like, this is a passage in some sort of longer story, and I gotta have conflict. You can leave now if you don't. She needs to leave. They made you be with me. But you can leave. I don't know. I don't know if it's possible to write a romantasy flash fiction story. I mean, it's possible. A good one. By me, maybe not possible right now. So they made you to be with me, but you can leave right now. If you leave now, you can leave forever. right. I don't know. Now I got to make up something. Looks up. I got to do present tense. Present. I'm surprised I put that past tense. Looks up. I hate looks up. We do that. Uplooks, maybe? No. The Minotaur clenches his fist. Let's just, I already defined this. His fist ready to punch. Looks up at the Minotaur. Looks up at the Minotaur light. She sees. I mean, how. At least. I mean, when I think of if I'm going back to Beauty and the Beast, because that's probably what I'm lifting a lot of this from, maybe. Probably. I mean, even the depictions they have of that beast is not necessarily horrific. Like some dude that looks like a lion almost. Nice thick head of hair. Great stature. Paws for claws. Hands for paws. I don't know. It's been a minute since I've seen that movie. It's a cartoon version, but I've also seen other renderings, I guess. And they're not like Minotaurs aren't. I don't know. But just go with it. Looks up at the Minotaur light. She sees beyond the beast into his heart. Care and freedom he gives her every day. Since the ruling companies, like to be a birth. Oh, I don't think so. There is just the romance. There is nothing else. Rebecca looks up at the Minotaur light. She sees beyond the beast into the care and freedom he gives her every day since the ruling companies of Earth married them as proof of their merger. I mean, this is where I'd honestly go. I probably wouldn't have the Minotaur. That is. I mean, a bit far. Not as sultry as dragons, elves, tieflings. So Rebecca looks up at the Minotaur light. She sees beyond the beast and into the care and freedom he gives her Every day since the ruling company of Earth married them is proof of their merger. Their two technologies working together. One a beast, a burden to fight and work. Another a damsel to protect and control like a beast. Whose stoic stare and thick, long horns point to the sky and frame a face between. Ah, man, this is hard. Where is this going? What's the resolution on this? Like, how is this going to resolve? Resolution? Revolution? I'm going to resolve this? I don't even know. Because I got magic. I wanted to get a little political, but I just don't want to go there. This is in the future, and they're making beasts and corporate just be more pronounced. We got to have the fantasy magical element. This is in a city with many characters too, man. And I got two characters standing. How would you not notice a minotaur in the city? I think I went down some weird route. And that's fine. I think this is not going to work out. But I'm going to make it try. Because now I got to go back and read the parameters. I at least have point of view right. I have present tense. Romantasy, I'm trying. Person versus society, I guess these two shouldn't be together. Or they're trying to decide whether they want to revolt. And there's many characters around them. So city in a city. We bond forever. Oh, they're about to revolt. That's what it is. Longhorn force frame. Its majestic head. Whose stoic stare and thick long horns erect from its majestic head. In the jostle of New York. Crowd the sidewalks. In the sky, in the drone pad, in the sky paths. This is not even going down for real, is it? I don't even know. I'm kind of lost. I got 49 minutes left. I can't give up. I got to keep going. I got to see this through. No matter how unsuccessful this is going to be. Oh man, in a city. Now I got to put this in a city. So at least I have some basis of something. But now that was like in my mind. They're alone, talking. Talking in some dark place. Maybe they are. In the shadows. Let's do this. In the shadows of the alley between Baker's and Stevens. Baker Street. And Stevens. Why would you, Clive Street? Shadows hide the Minotaur light. Here we go. That's it. That's at least. But I gotta have many characters. I got two. And this. So, in the shadows of the alley between Baker Street and Clive Street, shadows hide the Minotaur. Hides the Minotaur. Hides the Minotaur. Let's get rid of that so it's not dangling. Hide the Minotaur. Okay, there we go. Who clenches his fist? His fist, like ready to punch. Let's have this then. We'll have people walking the sidewalks. To the people jostling along the sidewalks. And hover car and cars. And this is the future. We'll just say everyone's jostling along the sidewalks and roads. During morning rush. This is so not exciting, but let's just go with it. Okay, so now I got to give, why is Rebecca here? That's the whole story. We'll give it the perspective of Rebecca. Rebecca looks up at the Minotaur light. She sees beyond the beast and into a care and freedom. Into the care and freedom he gives her every day since the ruling companies of Earth married them as proof of their merger. Their two technologies working together. One a beast for burden to fight and work. Another a damsel to protect and control like a beast. She looks up at light. Her stoic stare and thick long horns erect from his majestic head. It's not you I run from. It's them. She nods above and behind light at two drones hovering. hovering high above the buildings. In the shadows of the alley between Baker Street. Maybe I should add building shadows. I don't want to be building shadows, just buildings shadows. Make it plural. She nods above and behind light at two drones hovering high above the buildings. She memories. All the love, lore, what am I looking for here? She nods above and behind light at two drones hovering high above the buildings. Now I'm confused and lost. I got 40 minutes. I don't know. Like what am I'm setting up a decision to go to break free. This is like something more epic. This has got to be the trigger for the thing that does everything, with the backstory and the leading up to it. I mean, at least a lot of the other flash fiction stories that I do don't require such world building, so it's a little bit easier to focus on the story, the conflict, setup, and not build an entire world with a minotaur in it and give some sort of reason for romance. When they made you to be me, and if you leave now, you leave forever. If you stay, he cups, and we bond forever. Let's use some better words. I'm bonded by them. And I'll bond them to you, and I bond them to you. She's got to have some power besides just being some sort of object of romance or playing the damsel. That would not make a good romantasy primary protagonist as far as I'm concerned. I'm gonna give her some strength, more purpose than the Minotaur. Like she's the one with the magic. Light has no magic. But maybe that's it. Taking the bull by the horns. I think it might be, at least, I don't want to start talking magic systems because everyone thinks they're good at it. And it's hard to be bad because it's fiction. You can make someone believe, though, more. And what I'm getting at is I'm trying to think of like a way that she can use him as a conduit to increase her magical abilities. I want to give some foreshadowing to that. I am bonded to them, even with my magic. and bonded them to you. Light kneels before Rebecca. And looks across. Okay, that's it. This is going to be weird. I think somehow be like riding the shoulders somehow the Minotaur casting magic out of its horns. Like, why not? And that's like the trigger for the revolution to start. And this is the final moments for it. I don't want to, like, then you got some flash fiction story name that I wish this was, I mean, I really, this would have been better if it was format novel first chapter, format middle chapter, format last chapter. Then I could have honestly probably done something a little bit more aligned with Romantasy and give myself a little bit of a break, not being very good at the genre or having a complete understanding of it, or wrote it a lot. And knowing that, Light kneels before Rebecca and looks across at her. What was his words at first? I mean, who's to say, like, in the future you're really going to create these creatures that could then pair bond and then procreate? I mean, you're a corporation. Let's just say this Minotaur was created through science and magic. You're not going to want to allow it to actually birth a thing. Because then if I bought my Minotaur, I could just buy another Minotaur and it would have to go back to your Minotaur lab. I don't know, this is weird, but let's try to not call it that often enough that it's going to make me just discouraged about trying to finish this flash fiction story. 35 minutes. Rebecca looks at the Minotaur light. She sees beyond the beast and into the cairn freedom he gives her every day since the ruling companies of Earth married them as proof of their merger. And a damsel to protect and control the beast with its magic. Okay. They made me to be with you and be your enemy. They made you to fear me and bond forever. If you leave now, you leave forever. If you stay, he cups the side of her head with his massive, strong hand. We bond forever. Rebecca looks up at the Minotaur light. She sees beyond the beast and into the care and freedom he gives her every day since the ruling companies of Earth married them as proof of their merger. There are two technologies working together, one a beast for burden to fight and work, another a damsel protect and control the beast with its magic. This would be the coming together of two forces. One a beast for the burden, one a beast for a beast of burden to fight and work. Another a damsel like a human to protect and control the beast with its magic. She looks up at light, whose stoic stare and thick long horns erect from its majestic head. I'm bound to them even with my magic. She nods above and beyond light at two drones hovering above the buildings. She nods up. She nods above at two drones hovering. Near the building tops. And I bond them to you. I only bond to you. Rebecca knows the lore magic has brought to the earth. Like prayers answered. She knows the final war the Maxis University taught her the lore of a coming of a savior in the form of a beast. Now I gotta somehow tie this into popular religion that at least is everywhere where I'm existing right now, and I've had to deal with and live with for 50 years. So at least I have some justification and slight criticism of it, versus one I haven't grown up around and really don't understand fully. And my entire experience with it would be through media that's really hyper contextualized and opinionated. Though, I mean, it's religion. Welcome to opinion. So Rebecca knows the lore of the magic it brought to the earth like dreams of a god. The Maxim University taught her the lore of becoming a savior like a beast. With its body. For years, she believed the magic would stream from her arms or the arms of another. But now she realizes those dreams and visions of an erect, of horns, connect to light. She's seen her magical energy arc between his horns. What would he be? Why would when? Some backstory, something that could have happened earlier if this was the novel. Last chapter, this is where I'd be building up and connecting all the things that they had experienced that would then give the realization this is the one. Flash fiction story, just make the stuff up and make it a little bit more, add some more color. This weird world, I'm bonded. They both feel energy pull from the world and channel from Rebecca to light. Shocks and snaps of electricity arc between light's horns. Making them glow. The drones above sound a siren and flash red, while light's horns glow bright blue, bright white, and fizzle with energy. And fizz with energy. And as the drones dive, light roars and lightning bolts shoot from his horns and zzz, and explode the drones. The morning crowd runs, and drones dive at Rebecca and light. Lightning bolts zap. Rebecca clings. Sending energy. I think that's it. What's the name of this? I don't know the name. Shocking lightning. Lightning strikes twice. Ride the lightning. Oh, Metallica song. I'm gonna do it. Ride the lightning. I just realized that using my Minotaur's name Light and having lightning actually makes sense now. Coincidence, because I wasn't thinking that. But now that I think about this Minotaur's name is Light, and lightning is going to be shooting out from their horns or his horns. Ride the lightning. Lightning, 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 lightning. I always spell that wrong. Like I type it out with the EN a lot, and I'm going to check it right now because I'm just so doubtful when it comes to lightning. Because I've actually just, yeah, let's just not go to it. Is it lightning? Lighten. Electrical, man. Lightning. So lightning with an N is the correct spelling for an electrical discharge during a storm. Lightning with an E is the correct spelling for making something lighter. Oh, wow. See, even then, I've done it wrong other places. God, I suck. I'm going to have to go check everything I've ever done. Lightning. Nothing like knowing not how to spell a word, because it's just English. Welcome to it. That's funny. Anyway, let's read this story called Ride the Lightning. But let's read the stochastic fiction game story elements for today. For today's stochastic fiction story elements, we have setting time future, setting main location city, conflict person versus society, quantity of primary characters mini, point of view third, tense present tense, genre romantasy, format flash fiction. Today's story name is Ride the Lightning. Ride the lightning. The building shadow of the alley between Baker Street and Clive Street hide a Minotaur who clenches his fist like ready to punch. There's magic, there's technology, there's greed. He hits his fist against his chest and points to the people jostling along the sidewalks and roads during morning traffic to work. They made me. He lowers his massive bullhead and horns, looking at Rebecca's sultry body curving like tropical waves reflecting a heavenly glow. His fist opens and caresses Rebecca's night-dark hair and magical purple eyes. They made you to be with me and be your enemy. They made you fear me and bond forever. If you leave me now, you leave forever. If you stay, he cups the side of her head with his massive, strong hand. We bond forever. Rebecca looks up at the Minotaur light. She sees beyond the beast and into the care and freedom he gives her every day since the ruling companies of Earth married them as proof of their merger. There are two technologies working together, one a beast of burden to fight in the final war and to rebuild. Another a damsel like a human to protect and control the beast with its magic. She looks up at light, whose stoic stare and thick long horns erect from its majestic head. I'm bonded to you, and they bonded them even with my magic. She nods above at the two drones hovering near the building tops, and I am bonded them to you. Light kneels before Rebecca and looks across at her. I only bond to you, and our bond will bring an end to the final war. Rebecca knows the lore magic has brought to the earth like dreams of a god. The Maxis University taught her the lore of a coming of a savior like a beast, a savior who could channel magic with its body and shoot lightning. For years she believed that the magic would stream from her arms or the arms of another, but now she realizes those dreams and visions of horns connecting the light. She's seen her magic energy arc between Light's horns when she stopped close to her charging a sonic detector while searching for the lost Stevens girl. I'm bonded with you. She touches the side of his face. They both feel energy pull from the world and channel from Rebecca to Light. Stalks, shocks, and snaps of electricity arc Light's horns, making them glow. The drones above sound and siren and flash and read while Light's horns glow bright white and fizzle with energy. As the drones dive, Light roars and lightning bolts shoot from his horns and explode the drones. The morning traffic runs and the drones dive at Rebecca and Light bolts zap and shoot drones and soldiers holding guns. Rebecca holds Light's back and wraps around him like a backpack, sending energy through Light as he runs the street shouting, "They don't control us!" That was Ride the Lightning, a stochastic fiction game story, a story I will now rate. I will call it, I don't know, a 1. I think it could be better. I think it's better as a novel. It's a flash fiction story. It's a hard sell. But deep inside, my ego says I like it as a 3. I would probably, if I had time, could expand this story into a novel, and I'd probably keep it the Minotaur. And I'd probably keep it the Light and the Lightning. It's a lucky story. I read that wrong, and I think some of the dialogue was really terrible. Like I read it, and I realized it just didn't make any sense. Write a story. Write a story, and rate it a 3. I would rewrite this into a novel, given time and life. Well, I suppose maybe someday I'll be able to write Romantasy. Maybe someday I'll have a better understanding of how to spell lightning versus lightning. Enlighten something versus cast lightning. And I'll not put that E in there. Maybe. I guess that just proves I'm more human than I want to be. All the errors I create throughout the day, every day, all the time. Time to go find a different way to fail, a different way to create errors.